One of my colleagues who's covered Congressman and former Mayor Sylvester Turner extensively during his time as mayor is KPRC 2 investigative reporter Mario Diaz. And this morning on KPRC 2 Plus Now, Mario sat down with Zach Lashway to talk about the Turner that he got to know over the years.
Well, what's intriguing is that I came to Houston at a time when the city was in its worst position it had ever been in. It was just days after Harvey. I moved back here from New York City. And I remember landing here in early September of 2017 and seeing the destruction and devastation. And I'm like, my goodness, this is going to be a tall order. And the city was reeling at the time, emotionally. And I went to watch Mayor Turner. And I saw him do news conferences and talk about things. And he said, we're going to get the trash picked up by Thanksgiving. And for the most part, most of the trash was picked up by Thanksgiving. But what I remember during my first 2 months in office, and it culminated with the Astros winning the championship, was that he was a huge cheerleader for the city. You saw Sylvester Turner cheering the city on every time he could. And that to me is probably the Sylvester Turner I'll remember the most, was that he was a cheerleader for this city. He loved putting Houston on the big stage wherever he could. I mean, he was an individual that obviously was known primarily as the mayor and did his business, but for most Houstonians, they saw him as the face of Houston in a different way. He was there to make you feel good during those rough times. He knew how to take command of a news conference during COVID. And every day, what he became was like a traffic cop, right? At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, every single day, here's what we're doing with this. Here's where we're going with this. He was keeping the city informed, letting you know that he was there.
And I think, too, connecting with his constituents, right?
He did that, I mean...
That relatability factor.
Well, not only that, he was always on.
Yeah.
Like, I joked with him one time during COVID, and it wasn't often that I'd get close to Sylvester Turner. You have to understand that. What we're doing today, sitting down and having a conversation, sitting down, I never did that with him as mayor for 8 years. I invited him out to coffee. We never had coffee because he was very distant from the media. However, from certain members of the media. However, I will say this, was that we'd come across sometimes and we'd be the two of us just chatting and we'd laugh and we'd have a joke. But I told him, I said, you know what, the one thing I'm always going to say about you is that you were always on the clock. He was always there.
Well, we've been sharing tributes to Congressman Turner from both state and city leaders. We have a whole catalog of stories about the native Houstonian who grew up to lead this city. Just scan this QR code on your screen to go to our homepage, click2houston.com.